All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Bill from WWP Reacts. If you don't know who I am, I'm a newer channel. I don't know. I don't know how many subscribers I have now, but I want to grow my channel. I'm a retired Army officer. It's Veterans Day. I've been serving one way or another in public schools as a teacher, reserve officer, active duty officer after 9/11, and all the way through. And I like to talk about current events on this channel as I like to follow current events. And so I want to talk to you about what's in the New York Times this morning, and it's good news. It looks like a deal may be reached on the government shutdown. Now, this is huge because I have a lot of friends that work for the government, and yeah, it's been a rough month and a half for them, that's for sure. And I have a son who's in the Army, and he hasn't gotten paid in a month and a half, and his troops haven't gotten paid either. My son's been in for 18 years. Um, but it looks like, according to the New York Times, um, the Senate passed legislation last night to end the government shutdown. It's not a done deal yet because the House has to vote. Now, I heard earlier Hakeem Jeffries and something else I saw, he said he was going to oppose it and get the Democrats to oppose it. But the thing is, we control the House, so as long as all the Republicans vote for it, it's going to get through the House, and then just the president needs to sign it. So the government's been shut down for 41 days. That's the longest. I mean, I was involved in the government in 2018, 2019. Was it 2018, 2017, 2018? In the first Trump presidency when it was shut down for 35 days. And that was the longest at that point. This is long, 41 days. And it'll be 42 before it's all over because if they vote today or not, I don't know if they're going to vote today. It's Veterans Day. All right, so what's happening here to reopen? Um, as from the group, 8 senators voted with Republicans to end the government shutdown. Let's see. Let's see how what they need here. Um, the defections in the Democrat caucus prompted a sharp backlash and bitter rebukes from every corner of the Democrat Party. There's a big divide in the Democrat Party between the really socialist progressive left and the more moderate, mostly older Democrats. And those socialist progressives, I mean, you got Zohan being elected mayor now in New York, right? I mean, that's he's a communist, and these socialist progressives, AOC and the whole mob squad there, are putting a lot of pressure on guys like Schumer and others that you won't get our support for reelection. So, all right, so more than a month ago, the Democrats wouldn't vote for the clean CR because in the big beautiful bill, the affordable care subsidies to people making $400,000 and to illegals and everything else was going to be rejected out of the ACA. We weren't going to give subsidies to people making $400,000, people working, um, self-employed people making $400,000, $200,000. I mean, they were getting subsidies on the ACA. Someone pays for that, and that's you and me. And um, because, and of course, most ACA plans are garbage, anyways, because the deductibles are so high. Um, so 8 senators came over, but as many as a dozen Democrats, many from the centrist hailing from purple states, who were uncomfortable with the shutdown to begin with, have been quietly huddling for weeks to search an off ramp. Well, of course, they're purple states, supposed purple states, but we know Trump's last election, almost every state went red. There was very few that went blue. Some of these even purple states. I'm thinking North Carolina. I guess some could say Georgia. Some could say other places. Um, okay, so the Democrats are back where they started. For many, the decision brought to mind cliches about the party that have circulated since the loss of election in 2024. They are ineffective. They laid out an ultimatum and then changed their minds. The bickering among Democrats found a home inside one family of lawmakers. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire was among those who voted to end the shutdown. I am surprised. But her daughter, a congressional candidate in the state, took a different view. Renee Epstein, Reed Epstein is her name. She said that clearly we have had different approaches here, adding, I can't speak for her. I think she did what she believes is right. That's her daughter saying that. I mean, when you get inter-family squabbles like that, that's kind of crazy. All right. And then the dispute was the latest evidence of Democratic Party still deeply at odds with its direction to best counter Donald Trump, President Trump. More of the shutdown. Um, the Senate agreement says the government must rehire federal workers. That's good, and give them back pay. Action. Congress hasn't. Congress action Congress made the airports less chaotic. The FAA is reducing flights, and you can see in the stock market today that's causing some jitters in the SPY and other things that are coming down. A coalition um, to clean up partisan funding cuts during the shutdown that wiped out 7.5 billion. So they gotta redo some of that, and so there you go. I mean, that's the news at least on this front. Other news, I, and this is very interesting. Um, Trump pardoned many people in the 2020 election stuff. Rudy Giuliani, which I'm glad about. I think he was unjustly persecuted. Well, as I do for most of the January 6th things that were, I believe, CIA driven media events. Um, John Eastman, a conservative lawyer who advised Mr. Trump's 2020. Mark Meadows, former chief of staff in the White House. Boris Epstein, top presidential advisor, and Sidney Powell, another lawyer who stuck her neck out to try to reverse the election, the electoral college defeat in 2020. Um, the pardons are only for federal crimes. Of course, you can't pardon for state crimes, those crimes are the biggest. All right, what else in the news? There's another the role of age in the shutdown. Um, here's an article. They're talking about. Let me view it in the browser here. Let's pull it up. The Supreme Court is here a challenge. So there's an age issue here, right? We were talking about that a little bit for the Democratic Party, and good feelings after the party's big election victories lasted under a week. Now the knives are back out as 8 Democrats align with senators to end the shutdown. Tonight we'll look at those divides, how age plays into the arguing. Democrats are still defining the fallout of Joe Biden's calamitous decision to seek re-election at the age of 79. What has been less discussed is the fallout of having so many members who are and well beyond retirement age. And as liberal voters just found out, it's a lot easier to vote for something your base hates if you're told to worry about re-election. Of the Democrat-aligned senators who voted for the shutdown deal, 2 are not running again. Dick Durbin, age 80, Shaheen Shaheen of 78. So they went to this side. They're not running again. Angus King is 81. He's not. He's probably going to run again, or maybe he won't run again. I don't know. Jackie Rosen is 68, 4 years older than me. Tim Kaine of Virginia and Maggie Hassan, both 67. They went to the other side. All would be past 70 years if decided to run again when their terms end. Others that voted yes were Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada, 61, who represents Stanton. Las Vegas tourism is going to take a hit because of canceled flights. And John Fetterman, of course, who has surprised all of us at age 56, who has been more centrist than any of us ever thought he would be. Um, there's a big problem with gentrosity. I don't know how to say that, but old age, said Amanda Littman, the leader run for something, a group of recruits and young progressive candidates. So there you go. Big age discrepancy, but it looks like the shutdown's going to come to the end, and that's a good thing for America, in my opinion. It's a good thing for our soldiers. It's a good thing for FAA folks. It's a good thing for our economy. It's a good thing to get this over with. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. And if you like this content, please like and share and subscribe. Um, and hey, let's be friends online here and chat about the news a semi daily basis. I don't know how often I'm going to do this, but it's just kind of fun. I used to be a teacher, so I like chatting. And I'd love your comments. I'd love to hear what you think about what I'm saying. Good, bad, or indifferent. You don't have to agree with me. And I like having political discourse that is civil. And I appreciate your time today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.